custody being used as a weapon to hurt the other parent.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
see that? How prevalent is that?
I mean, I think it is. I think that I don't there are the people that definitely do it intentionally. I think a lot of times it ends up as a default position. I think that there's so many friction points and flex points and pain points with custody, and there's so many different perspectives that it ends up being an inadvertent at times tool, and everybody's trying to gain ground, right? And I think in states, especially like more on the East Coast where the 50-50, isn't kind of the gold standard, there's just so much more to fight about. I mean, people are like, well, no, I don't want you to have 50-50 custody, or how do I keep that away from him? And what do I have to allege? And what do I have to allege against her? And threatening each other with it. And then oftentimes, it's the elephant in the room. Like they're arguing about custody, but it's really like in Maryland, if you're the non-custodial parent, you got to have 92 more overnights in order to get on the shared custody child support guidelines, right? So once you get over that, then your money goes way down. So a lot of times, women are saying to me, like, he doesn't really want the custody. Look at what things have been done. But now that we're in court, now he's just saying that he wants more custody. And as soon as he gets more custody and gets the reduction in child support, I'm going to end up with the kids all the time, and I'm not going to be getting any money, which happens, right? And then there's also those times that the guys are like, no, I just want to be an equal parent, right? And the reduction in child support is only fair if I'm raising my kids half the time, even though I make more money than you. Why should I be paying more for you, right? Like
Right.
that's not fair.
My question about being used as a weapon, and part of the reason why I asked this too was I was talking to somebody the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and a divorce was sprung on her. Like she had no idea. And her comment to me was, oh, he'll be lucky if he sees his children. Just you wait. He's a pretty good dad, but she was using custody, using those children as a weapon, basically wanting to make him pay. And
Yeah.
we had a discussion about that. And of course, I had to, well, they need their dad. Dads are very important. You've got two daughters and you've got a son and given the benefits. And she's just stewing. Nope, he's not going to see him. I'm going to do everything I can to limit the amount of time. And I'm like, hers wasn't driven by financial. It was just driven by
Right.
spite,
Yeah.
by just anger.
Is like, I don't think that people in today's world.
And that's how she hired her attorney too. So
Oh,
sorry.
absolutely. She went
Yeah.
after the biggest, baddest,
Yeah. Yeah.
most conflict laden
Yep.
possible pit bull, or whatever they're calling us these days. It's sad. But, to me, like, that's endemic of the society at large because, okay, you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. It's an eye for an eye mentality, right? Like, okay, I'm going to get you before you can get me. And if you get me before I get you, I'm going to make you pay. And it's like, do you realize that the currency with which you're spending is your children and their
Yep.
emotional and physical well-being? Like, do you realize that? I mean, and I think it's just kind of like this great pervasive immaturity of human beings, right? Like, I don't know that, this idea that somehow moms are more valuable than dads. The truth of the matter is, for whatever reason, we're still both required, right?
Right.
Women have not been able to reproduce all by ourselves. We need you guys, right? And it turns out that you're more important than the sperm that you donate, right? Like that the
Right.
kids' fundamental development is that they need, they benefit from two loving parents. It doesn't matter if there's two women or two men or whatever, like whatever the family dynamic composition of whatever spectrum of gender we're dealing with at this point in time, children benefit from two, right? Because then one person doesn't have to be the heavy all the time. You're a single
Right.
dad, like it sucks when you have your period of responsibility and you have to tell the kids no and do your homework and no, you can't go to that party and no, you can't go to do this, and it's hard to always be the person that has to say no,
Yep.
right? Or to always be the person that has to do all the heavy lifting, right? So I think that I don't know. I think that people just need to grow up and see that the currency that you're spending is your children's emotional well-being, right? I
That's
mean,
it.
and to have your kids, but we live in this kind of narcissist fueled society where everybody's out for themselves. And I mean, if I had a nickel for every time somebody called somebody else in a divorce case a narcissist, I'd have a lot of freaking nickels and I wouldn't need to practice law anymore, right? And I don't think that really there are really as many personality disorders, true narcissists.
No.
But, the true personality disordered people are really driving kind of what's happening. And the people that do not have severe personality disorders are settling their matters out of court. Right now, like my opinion is that every case that's litigated in court, there's a personality disorder on one or both sides because
Yeah.
you just can't negotiate with them. And
Yeah.
there's no reason. What they feel, what they think, what they want is the only thing that matters. Only thing that matters.
Yep.
They don't care. They're not capable of stepping outside themselves and going, what's the bigger picture here? Like in your example, that woman is not capable of going, okay, so I'm injured. I'm wounded. I'm hurt. That's my pain, right? So my responsibility as a mother and a human being is to go over here and figure out and handle my stuff, right?
Right.
To not cause my children to be the price that's paid, right? Yeah, I'm really mad at him, right? But that is a personal problem, right? That is not a custody problem,
Right.
right? If he's a good dad, he's not,
That's your problem with the other
born
parent.
24/7. He's not, bringing hookers to the house. He's not doing meth on the dining room table. Like he goes to work, he parents his kids, maybe he does it a little differently than you do. Like why is that an issue? That's not a custody issue. That's a personal problem,
Yeah.
right? To believe that that's how you should handle it.